oven-prepared minestrone, a hearty vegetable soup with an interesting twist that makes it both convenient and delicious. Hey friends, I'm going to be doing an interesting twist on a classic Italian recipe, which is minestrone soup. It's a typical soup with all different kinds of vegetables and beans and pasta, but I'm going to be doing two things that are different. First, I'm going to replace the pasta with whole wheat berries, and that way it's going to make it an entirely whole foods plant-based meal. And the second thing that I'm going to do different is that I'll be cooking it in the oven. That way you don't have to worry about cooking it on top of the stove and standing around and stirring the pot. It's convenient, it's delicious, feeds a lot of people, and I think you're really gonna like it. So let's check it out. The first thing we will need to do is go shopping for our produce. It's worth the effort to seek out farmers markets and local ethnic markets because they have great selection and sometimes varieties you can't find anywhere else. I usually mix things up a bit based on what looks good, but I follow the same basic structure for this recipe. Today we will be using a winter squash, any variety will do, a summer squash, any variety, any kind of potato, any kind of cruciferous vegetable, any kind of pepper, tomato, celery, carrot, some tender leafy greens, any kind of onion, garlic, fresh herbs if you got it, and some dried whole grains such as wheat berries, farro, or barley, and lastly, a 28-ounce can of beans, your choice. These vegetables are just a suggestion. You can use whatever varieties you like or what is available to you. Set your oven to 400 degrees. Next, wash all the vegetables that are not going to be peeled. Then we have a lot of peeling and chopping to do. Let's begin with the aromatics. Chop up your carrot, then a few stalks of celery, your onion, and a small handful of garlic. Get yourself a large roasting pan. Make sure it's nice and deep. In go the carrots, celery, onion, garlic, and rosemary if you have it. Sprinkle on some olive oil, salt, and freshly cracked pepper. Give it a mix to distribute the seasonings, and then it's into the oven to begin cooking while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. Chop up the rest of the vegetables into bite-sized pieces. You can do it any way you prefer. After all, this is your soup, so make it your own. Give your aromatics a stir from time to time to prevent the bottoms from burning. Slice up your greens and give them a rinse in a bowl of cold water to clean out any sand or dirt. Drain and rinse your can of beans if you prefer. Then we're going to set these two things aside for later. Once all the other vegetables are chopped, we're going to add them to the pan. Add a heaping cup of your dried grains, and then fill the whole thing up with water until your vegetables are covered. It will develop its own broth while it cooks, and the oven will give it an amazing flavor. Put it back in the oven and cook for 60 to 90 minutes. That's a long time, I know, but it's mostly hands-off at this point. You can take a peek at it from time to time and give it a little stir so that the vegetables don't burn on top. Hey, if this recipe sounds interesting to you, go ahead and give me a like. After the 90 minutes, add the beans that we set aside, and then drain and add the greens as well. Stir everything together and try your best to tuck all the greens underneath the liquid so that they cook properly. Then it's back into the oven for the final 20 to 30 minutes. You'll get the best flavor if you cook for the longer time period. At this point, your grains will be cooked, your vegetables will be tender, and the aroma of delicious food will be filling your house. And now your minestrone is ready to be served. And just look how great this is. So many different colors and textures, all these different vegetables. You know it's going to be hearty. It smells amazing. Can't wait. Season it with salt and pepper, and I think a good squeeze of lemon is a very nice touch. Now you're ready to dig in. It's really so good. Lots of colors, different textures and flavors. It's hearty, it's filling. Using the oven made it so easy. Stick around because I got more great recipes to share.